All right, let's bring in right now Christopher Hitchens. He's Vanity Fair columnist and he's the author of the newly released book, The Portable Atheist, an anthology of godless writings. Boy, just what my mom wants for Christmas. My Southern Baptist mom, Christopher, actually signed a book of hers. I don't know if I'll have her get this one for Christmas. Christopher, how are you doing this morning?
Fine, and greetings to your mum. I think it was my Clinton book I signed for her.
Yes, it certainly was. I think she'll just reread that one.
But I think this is the perfect. This is a much more seasonal gift, the portable.
It really is. So
no family should be without such a stocking.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going to keep this away from my sons also. So, Christopher, tell me why the need to write this book.
Well, it's not written by me. It's written by great thinkers and philosophers and scientists down the years. Those who don't believe that God intervenes in human affairs, and those who think we have to take responsibility for ourselves, basically. Why now? Well, because of what the parties of God are doing everywhere you look, whether it's trying to acquire nukes in Iran or trying to destroy civil society in Iraq or trying to bring on the Messiah with crazy settlers on the West Bank or trying to teach nonsense in American schools under the guise of so-called intelligent design, or hold up stem cell research. All of this kind of thing, I think, has created a healthy backlash response, which is why this book is already on the paperback bestseller list as soon as it was published. It's not because of my blue eyes.
But
it's because people have had enough of clerical bullying and intimidation.
All right. Your last book, God Is Not Great, did fabulously well also. Obviously a bestseller. Why do you think it is that that book and The God Delusion and all of these other books, Sam Harris's books, have been doing so well?
Well, I think for the same reasons I just gave. I mean, it's the plus the irritating assumption that's made all the time in the mass media that everyone in this country is some kind of believing Christian. There's a sort of feedback loop from bogus opinion polls through.
But something's happened. I mean, you remember Time magazine? Obviously, in the 1960s had that "Is God Dead" cover. We've been fighting this battle in America since the 1960s, and atheists have been very outspoken. It seems to me over the past couple of years, though, these thoughts have gone more mainstream.
Yes, I think that's right, and in unexpected places too. What we've found from research is that the fastest growing minority in the United States is those who don't have any religious affiliation. Maybe as many as 25 to 30 million people now, and growing. Well, the number of people who actually say that they're atheists is not anything like that big. But people who say, don't count me in, I don't go to church, I don't identify, I don't profess any faith. And I think people are like that are very seldom taken into account in public discussion. And one of the ways they make themselves felt is because they tend to be literate people, is by going out and at least rewarding authors who are willing to speak for them.
You talk about extremists across the globe. I know Willie wants to talk about the crazies in Sudan and the teddy bear, but doesn't a lot of this also have to do with the fact that George Bush got reelected in 2004, supposedly by evangelicals? I remember the day after the election, people like Maureen Dowd and Gary Wills were blaming those crazy evangelicals. Isn't this as much a Bush backlash as a God backlash?
Oh, very much so. And I think myself that a moment when things began to go bad for the so-called Christian right was probably when the president decided to intervene in the private life of the Shivo family in the very clumsy, grotesque way that he and some other Republican politicians did. I think a lot of Americans then thought that's enough of that. He's gone too far now.
Yeah.
And I think that, if you notice, I mean, the Christian right doesn't really seem to have a candidate at present.
Mike Huckabee.
Who is that? Well, I guess in a way he might be their candidate, but he's a bit protean, isn't he? I mean, who is the guy? Dobson, Reverend Dobson, Focus on the Family.
Yeah.
I love that bumper sticker, don't you, by the way? It says, "Focus on your own damn family." Anyway, he was saying the other day that he thought they might have to run an independent.
Yeah. What about Mitt Romney? He's going to be giving a speech on Thursday about his religion. You think it's very important that Mitt Romney starts talking about his faith?
Yeah, I think he has to be asked a number of very important questions. One is, what was he thinking until 1978, when he was a year when he was well into adulthood, which was the year that the Mormon Church officially ceased to be a racist organization. Up until then, it wouldn't really admit a black person to any office under its doctrines. That's a very important question, it seems to me. We don't know either how sincere the Church's revelation that it shouldn't be doing this anymore was, because they only changed just in time to come into conformity with the law, as they had previously with polygamy. And then there's the question of the Church's elders and the so-called prophet who leads it, whose authority is supposed to be higher than that of any other human. In other words, higher than the U.S. Constitution. So we need to know what Mr. Romney thinks about that too.